Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be here sharing our first monthly theme of 2024. I'm Elisa with AK Educational Consulting, and if you've been following along, you know that each month in 2024, we are going to be focusing on a different social emotional learning topic or theme. And so for the month of January, it makes total sense, right, that we are going to focus on goal setting. So many of us are setting our own personal goals, and there is no reason that we can't be doing this with our kids at home or our kids at school. Now, if you're an educator, you're probably pretty well versed in goal setting with students, right? As educators, we're usually expected to set goals with our individual students, with our class. Um, Unfortunately, that usually involves standardized test scores, right? That's okay. At least we are using the skill that our kids need to be learning. But how can we start applying that to maybe other areas? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So here we go. We are just going to start with an introduction of goal setting here today in this video. So first of all, what is goal setting? What does that even mean? And you are welcome to use this definition with kids. It's fairly kid-friendly. So goal setting is the process of deciding what we want to achieve over a particular period of time. That's important, and the specific steps that we're going to take or the activities that we're going to participate in to help us achieve the goal. Okay, so we have to decide what we want to achieve. We have to decide what period of time we're giving ourselves to achieve that goal. And we have to identify the specific steps we're going to take to achieve the goal. All right. So why is this even important? Well, we know that there are lots and lots of benefits to goal setting. But also, if you think about it, goal setting really is the first step that we take towards success. So, in order to be successful at something, we have to decide that we want to learn that skill or we want to do that thing. And we do that by setting a goal. We think about it in our mind, whether we do this formally or informally. We say, okay, there's this thing that I want to achieve. How do I get there? That's the first step we take. Goals also provide us with motivation. They provide us with direction on how to get there, and they help us focus, right? So rather than just saying, I want to achieve this thing, and then we start throwing things at the wall to see if it sticks, we're going to identify those specific steps to give us that direction and that focus. The other thing is that by setting a goal, we're deciding what's important to us. We're not going to set a goal that's not important to us, right? Unless we have to set that goal for somebody other than ourselves, for instance, a teacher or a boss. And maybe then it isn't super important to us. And that is where it becomes tricky because then we don't feel really motivated or focused, right? Or driven to actually achieve the goal. So, best case scenario, the goal is important to us. It's something that we want to achieve. And that gives us purpose in working towards something. Now, remember, goals can be big or small. It really doesn't matter as long as they are important to you. And it's also very normal that we have lots of goals at one time, and some may be big, some may be small, right? That's okay. So how does this really apply to the real world? I know with kids, they often ask that question, right? Well, why is this important to my real life? Well, let's think about it. Think about the things that we set goals around. Again, whether we do that formally or informally doesn't really matter. Maybe it's a new skill we want to learn. Maybe we set a goal to learn a sport or to achieve something in a sport that we play. A lot of us have goals around healthy habits, exercise, drinking enough water, eating the right foods. Test scores and grades, right, are going to make the list because this is something we're very familiar with in schools these days. But kids can have their own goals for grades, right? Aside from maybe what their teachers or their parents are wanting for them. As adults and kids also, my kids regularly do this, we set goals revolving around money. We're trying to save up a certain amount of money to be able to buy this thing or take this vacation or have this amount of money in our savings account. One thing that my kids set goals for at school is reading, the number of words that they read, because they have a million words club. And so they're trying to achieve that goal by reading as much as they can. We set goals around relationships, our friendships, right? Maybe some of us, if you're an adult and, at the start of the new year, maybe you sit down with your partner and you discuss your goals for your relationship for the year. I have daily to do, I call it a daily to do list, but it's really my goals for the day, right? It's sitting right here next to me in my calendar, and every single day has a lot of things written down on it. And yes, it's a list and they're my daily to dos, but essentially they are the goals. They are the things that I want to accomplish that day. We also set goals around career, our work, college. What college do we want to get into? How are we going to go about achieving that? And some of us set spiritual goals. So there are lots of ways that goal setting applies to our real life, right? And this is a really important skill for our kids to learn so that as they become older, they can start to do this on their own, right? We get to the point where we can set goals without sitting down and writing out an actual SMART goal, right? We just know intuitively the things that we want to accomplish and how we're going to get there. And maybe sometimes we do write down the steps, the action steps we're going to take, but not always. And that's okay. But kids need to understand why goals are important. They need to understand the skills that they're learning from setting a goal, how to celebrate those small successes as they're working toward their goal, how to celebrate the big success when they reach their goal. All right. So, as you know, we're going to be spending the whole month of January on goal setting. And so, this was just a quick introduction that you can use to better understand it yourself, use it with kids. And then the rest of the month, I'm going to be sharing resources, picture books, different ways that you can apply this as parents and educators with your kids. So I hope that you will join me right back here. And until then, I hope you have a great day.